So thank you very much for joining us at ASPiRe Melbourne 2025. And what's your impression been so far?
Well, thanks for having me. ASPiRE has been a great event. It's you did a lot in 2 days, something that we did in 5 days in Ontario. In the summertime, you packed into 2 very, very good days. You had fantastic participants with different backgrounds, different interests, all coming together, which is a special sort of a thing around sort of like context, information, and a challenge. And I think all 5 groups did a fantastic job, did a lot.
Yeah. What do you think is the importance of having these sorts of events?
I think it opens up people's minds to what's possible within interRAI. Number one, to know sort of the power of the approach and why it exists, and to appreciate that. I think seeing it sort of in theory, but then seeing it practically in terms of using the data wherever it exists, to sort of see the facility and the complexity that exists within it. And I think the last thing is that people can work together.
Yeah.
So develop their own community, their own networks within country. That's very nice. But then also internationally, where people come in, we're lucky to be here.
Yeah.
And so they see familiar faces, see people that can support them in their journey, in their career, that it's a global sort of a family.
Yeah. I think, and I saw today, there were some real aha moments when you were talking and George was talking and David were talking, because Canada is so mature in how you use interRAI, and your practical experience and your long experience of using this as a tool, people could really sort of connect the dots. Do you find that you see that when you go to countries that are less mature in their use of interRAI?
I'm always surprised with how experience counts for something, but not a lot sometimes, in the sense that we have a lot of experience with interRAI instruments, and so we understand our sectors differently than other countries would understand it. But we have the same challenges in many ways. And people quickly gather our approach, where we've gotten to, and it's very easy to see how people can leapfrog where we're at now.
Yeah.
Actually, because they can pull together all of that gain, all that learning, take it and apply it and jump forward. And we've seen that where Canada has been for a long time ahead in certain implementations. But then certain European countries like Belgium, other jurisdictions that have used the systems, they've leapfrogged in many ways. And then we think of new jurisdictions like Singapore that are adopting the instrumentation, and we expect that they're going to be teaching us lessons in the very near future. And that's exciting, because then we each start pulling ahead, understanding from each other.
Yeah. We had 5 groups or 5 teams with a challenge each. Was there anything that you learned from our challenges and our thought process?
Yeah, I thought all of the approaches to the problems that are problems we face globally were very mature. I think I learned, it's hard to put a finger on it, but in each of the discussions, there was new ideas that I hadn't considered. And looking at Len and looking at others that were fellows, we sort of said, oh, that's an interesting idea. That's an interesting idea. And so you can quickly see how the dynamic of the room, all the different voices, how these are all individuals that can contribute towards interRAI as part of our committee structures and our working groups and so forth. And hopefully they felt the same way, where sort of we were like, oh, it's a brilliant idea. And they kind of think, well, I can contribute. These people don't know everything, and certainly we don't.
Yeah, that's great to see. Do you have a message for Australia, for aged care providers, home care providers, for the government?
Yeah, I think it's an exciting prospect to adopt instrumentation and to join a global community that's using a set of tools that's driving billions of dollars of resources in other jurisdictions. And it is exactly like adopting a metric system, which means it's a leap, but it's very powerful. It's very easy to see how other jurisdictions continue to adopt interRAI instruments and utilize it. And it's a matter of time before many jurisdictions move on that step. Sooner the better.
Yeah.
I think particularly in the new world where data is so powerful in teaching automatic systems.
Yes.
It is really, really critical that all governments around the world protect, utilize, and expand their data resources, because it's economically critical.
Yeah, great. Thank you for joining us, and thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Lisa.